Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Bow, bow, bow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
It's part 2 of the Ripley's 2023 Odyssey. It's not 2023, Andy, you say? Well, we're looking at the book, Ripley's, believe it or not, 2023. So there you go, deal with it. We were on the brink of looking at a small section last time, which was entitled Heroic Rat. So I think it's fair to just carry on from there, really. I don't know what it is. I haven't read it yet. I just like the title. Magawa, an African giant pouched rat. I'm already dismayed that we don't have a picture of this rat.
Yeah.
It was trained to sniff out landmines in Cambodia, and over a 5-year period, the rat identified more than 100 mines and other explosives, thus saving countless human lives. Magawa was awarded a PDSA gold medal. The PDSA, as far as I'm aware, is the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, isn't it? That's where they have charity shops.
Yeah.
And they look after...
Yeah, but we've also got an awards thing going on, which is an incredible money spinner. What we did was we set up an awards, we do it in Grosvenor House, and it pays for itself, to be honest. Tickets to get a table, it's either, now what is it now? It's £1,000 a head, or you can get a table for 8, yeah, for £9,000. Yeah, I know, it don't work out, does it? But for that, the table is full of non-stop booze, and yeah, I mean, it's mainly animals. They sometimes have human handlers with them. And we pack the place out every year. Plus, we stream it. And you also pay £4 just to watch it on the stream.
We've got a Patreon as well. That's £8 a month. And the Patreons, they get the stream for free. Because that's only
plus,
fair.
They get early bird tickets at a very small discount to come to the live event, should they wish to.
The PDSA has got... we've been talking with Seth Blatter for a few years about putting this all together. He's given us a few tips.
On how to milk an organisation like this. What's the word he uses? Monetise. Monetise an organisation to its full capacity.
I have found the PDSA Commendation Roll of Honour webpage. Would you like to hear the 2022 dogs that have been given an award? Billy, for loyalty and devotion to his owner. That's all it says. Chippy, for enriching the lives of his owners by providing comfort and support. Midget, for loyalty and devotion to his owner. Winston, for providing support, loyalty and devotion. Mac, for providing loyalty, support and devotion. Peggy, for showing loyalty and devotion. Rambo and Honey, for their remarkable actions in alerting their owner to a lady who had fallen down a steep bank and into a river. And there's a few others, but they're all the same. What do you think the cats would be getting a Roll of Honour for? Because there's a list of cats as well.
Playfulness. There should also be an award for the best cat napping of the year, because as I said on the previous episode of Ripley's, there's nothing quite like your cat having a nice kip on your lap and sometimes stretching out for a tickle on the tummy or a stroke of the windpipe, etc. All the things they like. And you know, some cats do it better than others, and I would like to see those cats honoured.
It seems as though there's not as much scope for honouring cats as there is with dogs. 14 dogs have been awarded this year alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You know what I'm thinking?
6.
Maybe we should launch the UK's premier cat awards ceremony.
I think they're doing it properly. Well, it's tricky.
Well, I think there's money to be made from that.
Cats generally just do what the fuck they want. Like I say, 14 dogs have got awards this year alone. 7 cats have had awards in the last 7 years. So the latest one is Poots, 16th August 2022, awarded for raising the alarm to a fire. I wouldn't have thought a cat would have done that or been capable of doing that. Everyone get out!
Oh my God! It's spreading fast!
I'm gonna die!
You know what? A cat, you'd never expect a cat to raise the alarm, would you? A cat would just be like, fire. Right, that's me off.
Right,
See you later, cunts.
I'm at the cat flap. I'll go and live somewhere else.
This place is fucked. This house is going to be burnt down soon, so suppose that puts the kibosh on the eating situation I've got going on here.
I'll have to go and put some feelers out in the locality, see if I can find some alternative accommodation.
See you, cunts. I might take one of my toys with me.
Yeah.
Quickly salvage my fluffy ball before that fucking burns.
Yang got an award for supporting the community. I don't know what that means.
I'm a community support cat, aren't I? I go out, visit old people. I help out at the food bank. And also once a week I go in and teach the little kiddies at the school hockey. But not like prop hockey, the uni-hock with the plastic bats, you know.
I work in the back room at Cancer Research, sorting out the donations.
Yeah.
I'm not front of house.
No, because
too much attention.
It's a strange thing, yeah. People, it can cause havoc when people see a cat working in a shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can cause havoc. So I go out the back and I separate out. Half the crap people give us is totally useless and it ends up in landfill anyway.
It's a fucking piss take.
How many times do we have to tell Joe Public we cannot accept electricals?
Or underpants.
Fuck me. They just use us as a rubbish dump, which is very unfair because we're trying to do good here.
We're trying to cure cancer. Fuck's sake.
I do not need your pants or your old fucking radio clock alarm from the 80s that doesn't even work and is a tremendous fire hazard.
Smarty, 2015, for raising the alarm when her owner required medical assistance. Again, very surprising.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, fucking hell, she's had one of her turns.
He's fell on the chair again.
Fucking hell.
Too much to drink.
I better go next door and raise the alarm.
Wow! Next door! She fell out of the chair! Making the drinky motion with her paw. Glug glug!
Yet again!
Also, June 2015, Kenny, great name for a cat, for being quick to raise the alarm when a plastic tray caught fire and thus preventing a serious incident. What?
Very specific.
Caught fire.
That can't be a category that they do every year. And the award for knocking over a plastic chair to avoid a potentially dangerous incident goes to Tiddles the cat.
Kenny.
Oh, Kenny.
There's a rabbit section. There's only ever been one award given to a rabbit. Rory, 2016, for being a constant companion and enriching the life of his owner. Again, hamsters, same category. Spud, 2021. And also Bongo the ferret in 2022. So, but you can go on there. You can nominate an animal for a PDSA commendation. I don't know where Magar with a rat got theirs. Gold medal, animal bravery, an honour previously reserved for dogs. So that's the heroic rat. There's a good picture on this page as well, which is page 50. And it's a man who has got a burning log on like a metal implement, it says, that's held in his mouth. And it's a 45 kilogram flaming twirling log, which he does in front of audiences, and he's quite elaborately dressed as well, like a bit like a wrestler. So that's good. He's been all over the world with it: Australia, France, Germany, Italy, and Russia. And he also does feats of strength. So there we go. Anything else on that page you want to look at?
No. There's this thing on page, let's see now, 68, called Poking Around. And all I can see, it caught my eye when I was having a flick through, because all I saw was a interesting animal. I don't know which animal it is yet. And a zoom-in shot of its really weird hand. And in case you can't just establish from looking at it that it's really weird, they've helpfully written creepy finger with a massive arrow pointing towards its massive elongated finger with a long sharp talon on it. So let's find out more, because this is quite captivating. Poking Around, it says, Ayayas of Madagascar. Oh, that's what the animal's called, Ayayas. So that's AYE dash hyphen AYES. Ayayas of Madagascar are about 2 feet long, including their tails, and have developed an incredible adaptation known as percussive foraging, using their skeletal middle fingers. These fingers have an astonishing range of motion due to their ball and socket joints. Ayayas use them to search for wood-boring grubs by tapping on branches and then pulling the grubs out. Sadly, perhaps because of their eerie appearance and nocturnal nature, some people consider Ayayas bad luck and kill them on sight. What?
Oh, that took a turn.
Fucking hell.
That took a turn.
Aye, kill it on sight. Bang.
Fuck. Voodoo.
They say some
it.
people, that seems to suggest that it's the Madagascan locals are, unkind people. I mean, an Ayay, which is brilliantly... This is what this book's all about. Oh, I don't know about you. I've never heard of this animal before, much less seen one. Oh, you've heard of it, have you?
I think I've seen one in a zoo before.
An Ayay.
I feel as though I have.
It looks like a cross between, I would say, a sloth and a bat. Doesn't it?
I'm looking to see if there's any Ayay UK Zoo.
Did you know about its finger?
Chester Zoo, that's where I've seen it.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you know about it?
I wasn't really aware of the finger. It was probably right up in a tree, and you can only see half its head or something.
That's the whole point of it. They should have had a thing up saying, hey, this is an Ayay. Keep a lookout for its big middle finger.
Yeah. And then put creepy finger on the sign.
They should say that. You know, when you go to a museum or anything, but a zoo's probably the best example, they have the things that have words about it. So you go up.
Yeah.
There's a plaque.
Info sign. Yeah.
Right. And I think that they should liven them up a bit, because, you go to the zoo and, let's be honest, reading the sign is a bit like boring. It's like what the teacher does. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's read some stuff. What I'm more about, let's have a look at this. Look, tiger, look, I've seen it. Let's go. Right?
Tick it off. Yeah.
You tick it off. You want to see it. I don't want to read shit. But if it'll be all like, oh, its Latin name is this, that, and the other, and this is what it feeds on. Just give me the best bits about this animal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is an Ayay. Look out for its fucking massive middle finger when it comes out, right? I'm like, great. Really simple. Maybe there's one for people, like for thick people, like me, and then there's a longer one for, like, my wife, who wants to know more detail.
The information.
Right.
You should have the believe it or not bit at the top.
Yeah, and it's the same with all of it. It's like, this lion will come out in a minute. When it does, keep an eye out for its big cock.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's got a particularly large cock, even by lion standards.
You will find it funny.
It's funny. So keep an eye on that. Tell me what the best bit to observe. Or like you go, this gorilla will be particularly funny if it fucking sneezes. You should see it sneeze. Yeah. It's crazy. It might not sneeze, but if it does, you're going to have the time of your life watching it.
It might pick up its shit and throw it at another gorilla.
Yeah. Here are some chimps. One of them, the smallest one, is very likely to have a wank at some point. Stick around. If you're prepared to stick around about half an hour, it's a high chance you're going to see the little one wank.
Yeah.
Jalapeño.
I mean, there was an incident at Edinburgh Zoo when my daughter was about 2 and she was still in the buggy.
Yeah.
And we were going around looking at all the animals and that, and she decided to read one of the signs.
Yeah.
She couldn't read. She was 2.
Yeah.
So she just pointed at the sign, and said what she thought it said.
Blah, blah, blah,
and, blah. No, she just went, "This is not a fucking pig."
Did she really say that?
She did.
Oh,
and we were like, hang on a minute, what? How
Where
has
did
she
this
learned?
come from?
How has she picked up these words that a 2-year-old shouldn't be saying?
Yeah.
And to this day, I still don't know, because it clearly wasn't from me or anything. This is not a fucking pig. So, yeah.
That's bad. There's my mate's daughter, about similar age at the time. They'd gone away to the seaside for a day, and they were going back on the train late, and she was very tired and grumpy, and she got the hump. Yeah, and she's about like 2, 3 or whatever. And they were trying to cheer her up for the journey home because they didn't want her sort of moaning or crying on the train home. So they said, "Oh, are you hungry? Maybe you want..." And you go, "Oh, well, we've got some peanuts. Do you want a peanut?" And she was just like, "No." Right? And they were like, "Do you want this? Do you want that?" "No." "Do you want a story?" "No." So in the end, I thought, all right, just leave her. And she sat in her seat staring out the window with right grump on, like kids get when they're... And they were like, "I'll just ignore her. She'll fall off to sleep in a minute." So they're talking amongst themselves. It's quite a sparsely populated train carriage. And after about 15 minutes of sulking, she has suddenly said, clear as a bell, "Fuck it, I'll have a peanut." Oh, mate, he could not fucking believe it. But it's low. I mean, that's how she must have got it from him, because that's how he speaks. But he didn't see it coming, and his wife was furious with him more than her, because she was. He gets that. She gets that from you. But obviously, that phrase became the stuff of legend. Yeah. And actually, I don't see as much of him as I used to. But I remember when COVID started, like on the first day of lockdown. Whenever that, 2.5 years ago, everyone was sitting around feeling quite weird. And I found myself texting people who I hadn't spoken to for a while, because it was just so weird. You thought of everyone I've ever known is suddenly living under these conditions. It's so weird. So I hadn't spoken to him for a while. And I just texted him just saying, "Fuck it, I'll have a peanut." Because it seemed to sum up the mood. Do you know what I mean? On that first day of lockdown, it was a case of "fuck it, I'll have a peanut."
Yeah.
Potential t-shirt idea, mate.
Yeah. Toddler swearing's always good value.
It is, yeah.
I mean, there was another time she was out with her cousin, still in the buggy, same age, and she went past this Frankie and Benny's in Sunderland, which used to have speakers outside, playing kind of Rat Pack type music.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So she was getting pushed along in the buggy and walked past the Frankie and Benny's, and it's giving it the music, and she just went, "Oh, that fucking music."
You got to be careful, haven't you? You've got to be careful. I mean,
Well,
I won't
so.
go into details because, I promised I wouldn't, but I've told you this off air. But there was an incident involving one of my children, my mother-in-law, and an online game of Scrabble, in which a highly inappropriate word was used by the child, and my mother-in-law was pretty cool about it. Actually, I've got to say, she's not the sort of mother-in-law who's like, "Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it." She found it funny, but the thing was that I felt bad, because clearly the child in question had heard the use of this word around the house and assumed it can't be that bad, because if it was, then why would people be saying it so frequently? And so they've pulled it out as part of a Scrabble game, and it was obviously funny, but I also felt really bad because my wife had to tell the child in question, that word you just dropped in Scrabble with grandma, it's like really bad. And they were like really upset and ashamed. Don't be ashamed of the word. Just know that it's not apart from anything else, it's not illegal playing Scrabble. So you're not. No. I don't think you're going to get points for it. I don't know.
I mean, I remember once when I was a kid using the word "prick" about someone, because I'd heard it, and
you just assume it wasn't that bad.
But I didn't know it was an insulting or rude word, because the word "prick" wasn't a bad word. You prick your finger or whatever. So I was just.
I had a memorable one like that. Is that I said, I remember vividly, we were in a line inside the building at primary school. My classroom was the old building. There's always an old building and a new building, isn't there? right?
Always is.
I was in the old building because that's where my 4th year classroom was. And we were in a line and someone was dicking around behind me, like pushing me, then running back. And the teacher was next to me. And I turned round and I said to this kid, a really funny thing to say. I went, bugger off. Right. And I think, because obviously I knew fuck off and all the rest of it, right? But I'd heard my dad, who is not, he's not someone who, he does swear, but he's not as sweary as my mum. So I thought that my dad was kind of, if I saw my dad at weekend, he was much more sort of well-spoken and less profane than my mum. And I'd heard him say bugger off a few times. So I assumed that was like saying, oh, sugar instead of oh, shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of those little fiddlesticks. I thought it was one of those. I didn't realise it meant buggery. I didn't realise it effectively meant go away and bum someone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In the anus, which, you know, in a way, it's more graphic and insane than fuck off.
It's awful.
So I'd said bugger off. But do you know what I mean? Do you agree? Like, bugger off doesn't sound that bad. It sort of sounds kind of, there's something almost old-fashioned about it. It sounds quite
pixie-ish.
It does, yeah. So bugger off, will you?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like that. I went, bugger off. This teacher, this particular teacher, she was nice, but she was very religious and old-fashioned. And she was livid, mate. I got one of my worst tellings off at that school.
Really?
For shouting bugger off at someone. Yeah. She didn't tell me what it was, mind you. Took me a couple more years to learn what bugger was. Or unless, I don't know, I probably went home to my mum and went, the teacher told me off for saying bugger off. I didn't think that was swearing. And my mum would have said, it does. It means fucking up the arse.
Penetrating the anus.
Yeah. With a willy. Yeah. Unfortunately, son, you've made a ricket there. She's got you. She got you banged to rights there, son. No, I know what you mean. It don't sound bad, but it is like really bad, especially what with her being a god botherer.
Yeah, it does sound pixie-ish. You're right, son. Yeah,
but letter of the law, she's got you banged to rights. I can't.
Got you on a technicality.
I can't get you out of this. You're just gonna have to take your medicine and learn for next time. Yeah. My mum said a funny thing yesterday that cracked me and my brother up because we just thought it sounded really old school. She was talking about, there's a story about a geezer. Let me tell you. Basically, she used the phrase touch me up, right? Which we thought was such an old-fashioned term to use. But she was ranting about a geezer who, when she was younger, like, I don't know, when she was in her 30s, a geezer came up to her, and, you know, this is no laughing matter, and I know shit like this happens all the time and is awful, but a geezer came up to her in the underground, like in a tunnel in London Underground Street. He just walked straight up to bold as brass and touched her boob, right?
Blimey.
And my mum says that she went, fuck off, you fucking about, like she went mad. And she says, I mean, this would have been the 70s, that no passerby stopped or said anything, right? They just all kind of walked off, and she was shouting blue murder at the geezer, and the geezer just calmly walked away, like he'd had his touch. And anyway, we remembered that story. Someone referenced it, and she went, that bastard, he touched me up. And for some reason, although the story is awful, we just thought the use of the phrase touched me up was, something a bit 70s about it, isn't it?
Yeah. Different times. Which takes us back to the creepy finger of the I guess.
The creepy finger, yeah, quite. Now, in Madagascar, which is a beautiful place, I've been told.
I've never been, but I've enjoyed all 3 of their films.
Yeah, great films. In many ways,
the second one was a bit iffy.
Yeah, the third one's probably the best when they're on the run from that demented French cop.
Yeah, really good.
That's the one with what's that song they sing in it? Something. Oh, I don't know. Anyway,
the Afro song.
Afro circus, pocket up, Afro circus. That's it.
Yeah.
I used to sing that to my kids all the time when they were little.
It also contains the greatest line in any film.
Yeah.
Which is where the penguins go, the lead penguin says, leopard seals, nature's snakes.
Yeah, it's a great bit.
Nature's snakes. Oh,
it's a great bit.
Never get enough of that.
They're great films, but don't let them fool you, because the reality of Madagascar is altogether less jovial. You see that in Madagascar, if confronted by one of these lovely little unique eyes, the locals instinctively kill them on sight, which is really unpleasant.
Oh, I mean, you look at it and you look at its fucking mad staring eyes, and add that to the creepy finger. It's hardly surprising, to be quite honest.
I mean, yeah, you'd be scared. You'd be scared to see one of them. And
if they're doing what's called percussive foraging,
that sounds sexual as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, they use the weird fingers to search for wood boring grubs by tapping on branches and then pulling the grubs out.
How'd you get on with that last night? Oh yeah, went quite well. Did you get your leg over? Well, not exactly, but let's just say there was a lot of percussive foraging going on. Let's leave it at that.
It ties in wonderfully with, of course, our bring back fingering.
Yeah, all of this campaign. Does.
Yeah. We got an email recently from someone about that, and he'd been on the. I'm going to see if I can find it. He'd been on the dating apps. There it is. Here it is. We'll not give his name just in case he doesn't want to be identified. So I was browsing Tinder for the first time ever the other day, like a nervous lover.
Yeah.
And came across a girl who had as the first line in her bio, in all capital letters, "Bring back fingering."
Wow. Maybe she's a listener to the pod.
Well, this is it. He says, was this a lady cunter in the wild?
Could
Perhaps. Would make a conversation starter. Naturally, I swiped left. Swiping left's rejection, isn't it? He's gone the wrong way there.
Is she mad?
Yeah, he should have gone swipe right on that. Fucking hell, mate. Yeah. So there we go.
Oh, no, I don't want to go near one of those girls who wants to bring back fingering. It's a red flag to me.
I might be a nervous lover. I'm also a romantic. Fuck off.
Stuff in the right context. There's nothing more romantic than a fingering.
It's very romantic indeed.
It is, yeah.
Which is why we want to bring it back.
Seeing as you've just read an email, there is a really good one that I know this is Ripley's Believe It or Not, but let me just read it because I'll forget. I forgot on Monday's episode, and I'll forget again on Friday. Hello, Sam and Andy. I'm sending you.
I tell you what, no, this. We'll leave for Friday. What's it about? And I'll put it on the list with hot water bottles.
The name of the email is Prosthetic Bollock Embarrassment Bullshit.
Okay, because let's not just have the paying customers enjoy it. We'll put it on Friday's episode.
Okay.
For everyone.
All right.
And we'll leave it with the fingering. And as I say, we've come full circle with the eye and its creepy finger. And it's all tied up nicely in a lovely ribbon and bow.
Finger special.
We'll be back with more Ripley's next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.